So the 3-season porch has now been loaded with all of the frost tender plants. So it is now ready for winter. So what else do I do to prepare for winter? Honestly, not much. I like to not clean up my garden beds until the springtime because I want the leaves to provide insulation to the crown of the plant to help them survive the winter. So as much as I don't have to cut back, I don't. Now there are things that I cut back. For example, I did pull out all the zinnias that had mildew on it because I wanted to dispose of that, get that mildew out of the garden, try to slow it down, prevent it as much as I can over time. And the peony. So I don't know if you can see right there the peony. I need to get after cleaning that peony up because I want it exposed to the cold. We're zone 8A here, really outside of peony zone. So I want it to get cold. I want it to experience as much chill hours as it can. So I will be cutting back all of those leaves. And I don't know, they look a little, they're spotted. So I'll probably just dispose of the leaves instead of put them in the compost bin. Otherwise, once we get the hard freeze, most of this is going to die back to the ground. And then I will mulch with leaf debris over top of that. The leaf debris is going to do two things. It's going to help insulate what's there, as well as fertilize, because it'll compost and break down. And then in the spring, we'll see what comes back up. The marigolds are still really pretty. I did cut 2 vases of marigolds for my neighbor yesterday and gave them to her. She's like me, she loves fresh flowers in the house. And also like me, she doesn't mind the smell of marigolds. I know some people are repulsed by it, but it doesn't bother me. This is my fall veggie bed. Guys, it's not doing anything hardly. So let me tell you what happened. So I put the seeds out when, by the calendar I should, but it was still too warm. So a fall, cool season seed, it was just too hot for it to germinate. So I got low germination rates. And then we have not had rain since Hurricane Helene. So it's just been dry. I've been trying to hand water or to run the sprinkler out here. I just don't think I've done enough. So we'll see if we get any food out of here. Alright, so my pak choi is doing better. It's got some insect nibble damage, but all in all, I could pull those 3-4 leaves off and I could still get a decent harvest out of that. I think the cucumber just cannot handle the cold. I think it's done. And that's fine. I put that in really late knowing it was a gamble, so sometimes as a gardener, you just kind of take your chances. You're like, let's see. Seeds are cheap. Same with these peas. I'm not going to get enough pea plant to actually get pea pods off of it, but I'll get pea shoots I can add to my salad. For the price of a seed, those pea shoots are definitely worth it for me. Pepper, I think I mentioned a couple times, I've got to get out here, harvest all the peppers and process them. because the first frost and these things are done. But they did good this year. They're very healthy. Now, for those of you curious, deer jumped the fence and ate all my okra. That's why they look like this. That is not traditionally how an okra plant works or looks. I have discovered just over time that leaving roots in the ground is good for your garden, even if whatever you're growing isn't really productive at that point. But just having live, healthy roots in the ground helps the soil life. So I tend to never pull out plants. I always cut them off unless I think there's, if I've got root knot nematodes or something, then yeah, I'm going to pull the whole thing out. But if I don't suspect there's anything wrong with the roots, I'm just going to cut the plant off at the ground level, leave the roots in the ground. And I did have one of the hummingbirds out here yesterday on this salvia. I did not see him out this morning, so he might have moved on in his migration. Alright, coming back over here, you will see I do have variegated sedum right there. Maybe you can get a better view of it here. 2 little variegated sedum plants. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if they're going to make it. I got them as freebies in some big box of something I ordered. I didn't order them, they were free, which is really cool. I love when I get free plants. But they have just been ravaged with insects this year. So I don't know, we'll have to see how well they do. The blueberries are doing good. And I did find this just darling cute. So this is a zinnia. I just thought it was so cute. It got left and not pulled up when I put this mum in there. And I do pretty much leave things in the garden and let them die on their own. And that is the daisy we got for 50% off the other day. It's not looking great, but it'll be fine. It'll come back in the spring. I'm not worried about that. And then that's the little aster. It's got one tiny, tiny flower on it. And I'm just tickled pink that this elephant ear is doing as well as it is. That was the one that when I got, it was like on sale. It didn't have roots. She just put it in a pot. And she told me, she said, "You're going to have to baby this." And I'm like, I can do that. Now she told me to pot it up, let it have a winter inside and grow some roots and get established, and then put it out in the spring. I am not good at houseplants. I'm just not. I will kill something inside over the winter 9 times out of 10, it seems like. So I wanted to get it established in the ground because I knew in the Midlands of South Carolina that this elephant ear would be fine if I could get it in the ground and get it established quick enough. And obviously I did. It's got another new leaf. And it's got a shoot here. And it will probably die back to the ground when it freezes and then come out in the spring. And I'm okay with that. All right, before we go back in, real quick, I want to just show you an update on the camellia. So the camellia is happy. It is enjoying life where it's at. You have a sleeping bee. We'll leave him alone and not disturb him. Now over here, I've got a hydrangea. That is one that I propagated just from a cutting from that hydrangea over there. So I know it can stand being outside. I'm gonna let it just develop roots in that pot. And then in the spring, I'll probably plant it in the ground over there. Maybe in the corner right there. I hadn't exactly decided where I'm gonna put it yet. And these are Dutch iris that I probably put in this pot, I don't know, a couple years ago. But that pot had a volunteer tomato plant in it. When the tomato plant died, I cut it back, and all of these Dutch iris bulbs started putting out growth. So pretty cool. Probably should not have been growing at this time of year because it's going to get cold and freeze soon. But Mother Nature knows more than me, so I'm just going to let it be. And y'all, look at the Baptisia coming back out. You remember the caterpillars ate every single leaf on this plant? So I'm excited that it's coming back and it didn't fully die. Oh, look at that spider on that hibiscus. Alright, enough of that because I know some people are afraid of spiders. Living on the lake out in the country, you just got to get used to insects, and spiders are one of them. But I will be honest, I hate spider webs. Speaking of the lake, look at how calm the water is this morning. All right, well, happy gardening, y'all.